Hey, look, you are almost done. And let me wait. Let me look at something. Look at something. You are on section 5 of designing your website. Congratulations. I left my coffee out there. So the success story and progress is still going. I've closed the door, right? Because now we're closing the door on where we need to be. Only got really one more session to show you, and that is how to launch your website. Okay. Now I'm going to take you back into the back end. Since you registered your domain, you got your hosting, you picked your theme. Now we want to go in there and make some changes. Okay. Some key things that I do want you to understand, and let me go ahead and start sharing my screen now, is because I don't want you to get so caught up in a couple of things. And you're like, what do you mean caught up in a couple of things? So let me show you. So when I design a website for someone, I like to focus on a couple of things, okay? Those couple of things are understanding that if we do things correctly, right, we are going to complete this website in 30 days. So in 30 days, I secure the documentation and payment, and within the first 10 days, I have already picked out a WordPress theme template for them. And we are now working on phase 3 and 4. Oh, shoot, this is supposed to be 4, not 2. 3 and 4, because when it comes to the initial content right here through days 11 through 20, it is where we're building out these pages. And we are troubleshooting the WordPress thing because sometimes those have issues. And that's another conversation in itself. But sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But getting this initial content and media is hard. So when it comes to figuring out what that looks like, I don't want you to get like bogged down with all the details that you don't hit the publish button. So I want to show you on my site what that looks like, because you can say when you're getting closer, you're like, okay, this is a big deal here, and I don't know if I'm gonna hit go or not. I get that with clients. We're doing the work, and they're like, hyperventilating. It's like, hey, I get it. It's not that deep. Some are excited, and some are just scared, and perfectly explainable. And this is where we walk you through it. So I am going to walk you through yours, and I'm back in my theme, right? Because we did the WordPress.org, so I'm going to close that out. You chose a theme that you loved. You say, this is it. We're going to move forward with that. So let me close out these tabs. And so now I'm going to say post. Okay. And I'm showing you again the back end site of the website, so you can kind of see what it looks like. Now, I don't have any on this website in websterlc.com, but I do on my other site. And so let me go there so you can see what this looks like. And you'll see it's in articles. So, and this is one that was published in January 15th. The flus are in. Published this one in November. I meant to post one in December. And these are going to be changing as well. And this whole website's changing because, and this is the beauty of when you're building your own website, you can change it, but I can show you some things that, like you see, 2022, I didn't really post any in 2023, but there's some stuff that are like, I kind of did like a transcript. I'm like, I'm not doing it anymore, but I had another something that I had here. It was a plugin. It didn't work to where I thought it, so I started to remove it. I'm not going to go into it, but this is where I'm cleaning things up. But those are what called posts for blogs, but I've changed it to articles. You can call it what you want. So when it comes to designing your site, you can look at, and I cut my teeth when we started the agency in restaurants. And so this is where I want to show you the difference, okay? I'm sure. Wow. I hit accept. And so you get to see two different brands. Was the established pillar of when it comes to fast food. They were the leader. Now it's Chipotle. And if you even look at their stuff, like obviously that cookie was completely different. If you look at the banners, right, it's completely different. And they just do a phenomenal job showing their food is fresh. McDonald's for their stuff, they want you to go straight to their order in the app, right? For them, they're giving off a different experience and everything. And I also talked about it in one of my posts is they want you to go check their stuff out. Not one is bad than the other, because there's an opportunity for people to sign in, join their loyalty program. McDonald's just has their stuff front and center. But when you are designing your site, and let me just go back to my website, when it comes to everything, it's yours. You get to choose what that looks like. And I didn't want a banner, so I decided to go this way. And let me get to really the meat and potatoes. When you go into creating your website, there is going to be the opportunity for you to change whatever you want. And it's going to look something similar to this. Now, this is shoot, I forget the name of this. I forget the name of what this called, but it's a certain like Gunther'sburg or something like this style. And it doesn't really work great, but you can do things in this manner, or you can say, look, I want to edit with something different. And this is where I use Elementor. And so this is where it's loading. It's taking a minute. So hold on, be patient, be patient. And so this is where I use Elementor, and there's others that you can use. I use Elementor, and look, you can just even do a search for Elementor. I'm going to say WordPress Elementor. As you can tell by my cookies, I use WordPress engine. You can say, what is Elementor? It's a page builder, but there's others out there that you can use, which I have them all. I'm not going to tell you which one is better. I mean, again, this is up to the person building the site. But I use Elementor, and so what you do is, and this is a blog, okay? Now, a blog already has like this, and let me stop sharing real fast because I want you to pay attention to me. A blog is already pre-constructed. It's usually always going to be a certain way. And in this certain way, it's pre-constructed to have the skeleton. No matter what, unless you go in and change that framework, it's really hard to do. You can do it. It's CSS code, but you can do it. But once you change it, you never know how things will come out because the now theme has been changed. But the way the actual blog is, you can change. But this is what it looks like when it comes to building your page on your website too. So that's why I'm showing you this, and you can design it certain ways. Now, do not get caught up. I showed you the time frame intentionally in that scope of work. I showed you that intentionally because you don't want to spend a lot of time on this. You just want to get it up. And you know what? 60 to 80% is better than 0%. Okay. Again, 60 to 80% is better than 0%. Just get something up there. Even if you have to just put one page is better than 0 pages. You may have 5, 10 pages, right? And I tell my clients all the time, it's up, but the work will never stop. You saw my stuff, 22, which from now it's 2025. I went a whole year without blogging. You know what I'm saying? So with that, let me go back to sharing my screen, because I don't want this to be so much that I'm showing you how to do this where you're like, it has to look like Nathan. So that's why also I'm showing you these things so that you can see that if you look at McDonald's, completely different, which they're a super juggernaut. Chipotle's taken their place, and you look at them, it's completely different. Who's right or wrong? It's up to the individual. So when you start doing this, you can say, hey, look, I want it to have these types of structures, and I'll show you real fast what that looks like. You can start here. It's right there. In here, you can say, I want an image. Boom. There's your image. Okay. You can drag another one. You're going to have this one be 2. And this one now, you can go inside here and you can click on, I want an intersection. And this section, I want an image. You see how that is? And in this intersection here, it is text. Let me just do it here. Whoops. No, I said in here. And sometimes you gotta say, you know what? Let me wrestle with you. So boom. Okay. So, and you might say, you know what? I don't want this. Here, I can say, okay, move down here. And actually, I can't see it from here. But here, I'll do a simple way. I just right click on here and hit delete. I can also, if I click on it, I'm trying to click on this. I hit, sometimes you can hit, I hit delete and then it's gone. I can also just move it in here. If I just say, hey, look, I want another section, I can type it in here. Oh, I can say, and this is where it gets a little, I'm going to kill that and just say, I just want a text. And then you have that. So, and everything's going to be a lorem ipsum. But from here, and I can just, let me just put an image up there. I do my logo, add that. You want things to be under 400. Sometimes it's 600. I get it. Sometimes you can't find something here. I'm going to say for learning purposes in the DIY class. Right here, I'm going to put another image. Let me just, what's the next picture? I don't want to put myself. Let's do the logo. See, I don't have a lot of pictures, a lot of content on here. And I can hit publish. You see how I can hit publish right there? That means you're putting it out there. Now, you can say you want to preview. And here's the preview. Let me get out of here. You can preview changes, but sometimes when you hit preview, that opens in a new tab. Like it won't let you. Oh, there we go. I was like, it won't let you sometimes, but my computer's taking a little bit longer, but this is what it looks like. This is what your website will look like when you use those sorts of things. And you can see that there is a high definition logo. You don't want to use stuff that's pixelated. It's just not going to look good. Now, I'm not going to put it in a blog, and I encourage you, do not leave comments because you can get a lot of spam. Let me just kill this because I don't want it. And the cool thing is, since I hit preview, more than likely, let me just, let's see if I can go back to the post here. I'm going to leave. It probably saved it. Even though I didn't want it saved. See, look, it saved it. So the cool thing is, it tells you when you saved it, the time. I don't want it. So I'm going to just hit trash. Because again, I don't want it. But that is when it comes to, and then boom, it's done. That is the beauty of WordPress.org. Not to say .com can't do that or other sites don't do that, but I'm sharing with you the simplicity of things to where as easy as that, it's done. If you need help with it, let me know. But also there's a lot more obviously we can get into, but we're not getting into that because more than likely, if you're going to go that route, it's going to be a headache. Get 60 to 80% done. You want to finish this in 30 days. And when you're designing this, don't tell anyone like McDonald's or Chipotle, completely different. They're their own, each powerhouse, right? So don't think you have to be a certain type of way. You just be you. Be you, right? Be you, and you'll be good to go with this website. And the work of a website never, ever stops. So that is the conclusion of designing your website. What I'm excited to talk to you about now is to launching your website. When we hit promote, I want to go through some of the final checks you do before the launch. and how to measure your success with analytics. So, with that being said, I think we are at a wrap. So, I'm excited. Less than 30 days, 60 to 80%. Don't compare. There's a saying, comparison is a thief of joy. Don't stop that from being you. Put it out there, hit publish. Let's go.